I didn't really think I was gonna like the Lily set, and I've fallen in love with it. So it's the Lily Impressions designer paper. Hi Linda, welcome. Hi Gail. Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad you're here tonight. All right, I do have one announcement to make, one Sale-A-Bration announcement, and that is this embellishment kit is now sold out. It's done. The supply's depleted. And so remember, with all our Sale-A-Bration products, they are while supplies last or until March 31. Okay, so the sequins and twine are now gone. Supply is depleted. So I did want to let you know that. I meant to do that on Facebook today and I never got around to it. So, hi Margaret, welcome. So this is depleted. And then tonight I'm going to show you the lovely Lily stamp set, the Lily pad dies, and the Lily Impressions designer paper. So it's 3 awesome products. They are available only during Sale-A-Bration or while supplies last, okay? All right, well, please leave comments as you join this evening. I've got 7:32, and I'm gonna take a quick sip of water here. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna let you look at the sampler. All right, ladies, here's most of the sampler, okay? And this class, the deadline to register is tonight by midnight Eastern, okay? Now, you have options with the sampler, okay, as well as the cards, and all those details are on my blog. And you can look at yesterday's blog post at www.becreativestamping.com. Hello, Lee. All right, so here are the cards. This is card 1, card 2, card 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so my class is in Mechanicsville on Saturday, February 29th. And it's in my studio March 7th, which is the following Saturday in the Hampton Roads area. So if you're nearby, consider joining us. I'm really tight on space at this point. So do let me know. And I'll show you the sampler one more time, and then I am going to give you a few more details, okay? And that is, you can take a screenshot of this if you want, or take a picture with your camera. I'm gonna move the sampler out of the way now. The class is $32.50. You can add the 6 coordinating cards for $12.50. You can also purchase just the online tutorial. It comes with videos galore, lots of files, supply list, measurements, anything you can think of, it's in this tutorial. I filmed the first card today, and it's a 14-minute video. It shows you how to create the card, and it shows you how to assemble the square for the sampler. So this is an excellent value right here, okay? You cannot beat this price. So if you're, an online customer, this is for you, all right? Or if you're an online customer, you can choose to purchase the entire package, and it will be shipped to your door, okay? And the shipping is extra. I think it's $7.15 for priority shipping, okay? Hello, Carol, welcome. All right, so I think I told you everything about this class. And again, I've just created one video so far, and it's 14 minutes. So the $15 tutorial is definitely worth it, especially if you're a demonstrator, because it has everything you need to have the class. Okay, all right. I'm going to move this out of the way. Hi, Sonia, welcome. If anyone has questions, please let me know. Thank you for sharing, everyone. Your name gets into the drawing when you share the video and when you leave a comment. So I'm just moving things out of the way. And these are the measurements for tonight's project. And I'm going to give you a few minutes to do a screenshot. And or you can take a picture with your cell phone, okay? And these directions will be over on my blog on Friday with the replay. Okay. All right, let me know. Hi, Amanda, welcome. Good to have you. Hi, Carol. Never too late, Carol. You're never too late. Okay. So these are the lovely little note cards that we're going to create tonight. Thanks for sharing, Gail. And Sonia has shared, Mary Kay. That's awesome. Hi, Joanne. Welcome. All right. So the first part of tonight's video, I talked about my Be Creative sampler that's coming up. And if you need more details on the sampler and the cards, then you can, when the video's done tonight, you can go back and replay it and get all the information. Hi, Sherry. So nice to have you. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the project. All right, and it's right here. And as you can tell, we're going to use that new designer paper. How beautiful is that? And then inside, I've tucked in 4 note cards and 4 envelopes. And I'm going to teach you how to create this entire thing, okay? But before we start, let's go over to our Sale-A-Bration catalog, okay? So if you've got your catalog with you tonight, go ahead and grab it. And you'll notice on pages 4 and 5, we've got the lily pad dies. We've got the lovely lily pad stamp set. And we have the Lily Impressions designer paper. And you've got some wonderful samples right here. All right, here's some more samples and here's another sample. So I think Stampin' Up gave us 4, 5, 6, 7 samples in the Sale-A-Bration book. So things that you can create this this collection with. Hi, Chris, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so now let's look at them up close and personal, okay? So now I'm gonna get the catalog out of the way. And here are the lily pad dies. And now I'm gonna grab, do I have my lily pad stamp set? I think so. Here is the lovely lily pad stamp set. And these are the coordinating dies, okay? So hopefully you can see, there we go. Now you can see all of the dies, all right? So as you can see, there's a die for cutting out this bud and dies for 3 different stems and leaves. So I guess it's 2 stems and then here's a leaf. And then you've got some wonderful outlines for the lilies, as well as 2 different size lilies. This is just a gorgeous border. I mean, you could just use that on anything. And then we have 2 different size lily pads, okay? And this is the stamp set right here. And you're going to notice there are 8 pieces in all. Now, of course, when you look at this, not only am I counting 8, but there are 16, okay? And the cool thing about this stamp set is it has reversible stamps. And Stampin' Up has created this idea called reversible stamps, and the patent is pending on this particular type of stamp. And with the reversible stamp, it does come in the photopolymer, okay? And I'm going to show you in a bit what that really means, okay? All right. Now, before I do that, let's look at the designer paper. All right. So this is a free package of designer paper. It's called Lily Impressions. And you'll see the front and back of this sheet. And front and back, front and back. So there are 12 sheets of cardstock, okay? You get 2 of each design. So 2 of this design, 2 of this design, this one, this one, this one, this one, okay? And then check out the coordinating colors. Can you believe that? Look how many colors coordinate with this designer paper. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 different colors. And they are beautiful and they look fabulous with this designer paper. Now, if you like this designer paper sheet, you'll be able to download it on Friday in the blog post. It'll be right under the video. And these sheets are so, they're very practical and useful because a year from now, this might be tucked inside your designer paper pack and you can pull it out and quickly see which colors coordinate with it. So this is just an awesome tool to have, okay? So let me know if you have any questions about that. And we're gonna use this paper this evening. Okay, I'm just taking a sip of water. Everybody grab something relaxing to drink, whether it's hot tea or a glass of wine, and we will get ready to create, okay? All right, so that's the paper. And now we're gonna go back, and I just wanna show you what versatile means, okay? And inside of this case, you'll see the images that are included in this stamp set, okay? And Stampin' Up has even given us a drawing so that we can put those stamps back in their place. How cool is that? And I think they did this because this is a reversible stamp set, and that's what I want to show you now, okay? So hang tight, and let's see. I'm just looking for my stamps, okay? All right, great. Well, we'll start with this one. This is the smaller lily pad, okay? And it looks like I did not bring any Whisper White cardstock over to my table. So I'm gonna use this piece of paper to show you what a reversible stamp looks like, okay? I'm gonna bring in my pad for cushioning because this is a photopolymer stamp and it doesn't have that nice rubber backing, all right? And then reversible means that this stamp can be used on either side. I'm sorry, I've got a little piece of paper or something. I want it to get that off. Okay, so on one side, it's completely smooth. On the other side, it has the outline of the stamped image. This is the outline, okay? So I'm actually gonna start with that smooth edge. And so let me grab some ink. I have quite a few supplies over here tonight, and so I'm reaching like crazy to get to things. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead. We'll use Highland Heather, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm inking up the image that is smooth, okay? And so it's not too dark. I'm actually gonna stamp off. And as you can see, I'm just stamping off there. And then I'm gonna stamp on, okay? And this is the image that I have. Now I'm going to clean my stamp. Hi, Debbie, welcome. So I'm gonna clean that stamp off with my simple chamois, okay? And once that's clean, I can pick it up and I can flip it to the side that has the outline, okay? And I'm gonna ink it again in the Highland Heather. Now, you have to realize with this particular stamp set, I'm going to try and line it up as best possible, but believe it or not, it really doesn't line up, Okay, so it's not an exact stamp. All right. Hello, Laura. Welcome. So I am just going to line it up as best as possible as I see here. And I'm going to stamp on top. And now you can see my stamped image. Now, do you see how the solid image is around the outside of that outline? This is kind of like the paper. It's the impressionistic side. I'm not sure what to call it. You know how Monet's colors and drawings are. It's the same sort of thing. So it's more like a watercolor than anything. So you won't get an exact match with the leaves or the lilies, but it leaves a beautiful impression, don't you think? How cool is that? And then you can take the die and cut it out. All right, so that's what that looks like. And next week, we're going to dive into the lilies a little bit deeper. And we're going to talk about different ways to stamp and color the lilies, because that'll probably take us another hour, okay? So we'll work on that next week. This week, we'll do some stamping and just, you know, play around with the stamp set, the dies, and the paper, all right? But isn't that beautiful? Okay, all righty. So now we're actually going to get started. Let me clean my stamp because we're going to be using our simple chamois quite a lot tonight. All right, and I believe you all have your measurements. I'll give you another second or two with those as we get ready. The first thing we're going to do is to cut our paper. And I'm going to give you a few more minutes because I didn't bring my paper trimmer over here. So hang tight. All right, I am back already. And I've got my paper trimmer right here. And for those just joining, this is our project tonight. It's a little tote that holds 4 3x3 cards, and we're going to work on the outside first. But you would probably like to see the cards, wouldn't you? So let's untie this, and I am going to show you the cards, okay? So when this little guy opens, look at this little tote. Look at that. The note cards and envelopes are right inside the tote, and they fit perfectly. Gail, that is a great question, whether you call it a chamois or a whammy. My simple chamois is wet, and I keep it in this stamp case so that it will stay moistened. So that's a great question. And you'll also notice I actually have 2 in here. I've got one standard side. This is how they come. And then I actually cut one in half, which is great when you're using the Stamparatus. All right. Okay, I think we're about ready now. And I'm actually, oh, I got to show you the cards. I haven't done that. Here's one of the cards. Here's the coordinating envelope. How cute. I'll just tuck it in the back again. Here is another lily with coordinating envelope. I love doing the flaps of my envelopes. They are so fun to do. Here's another lily. And here's the envelope. And wait until you see how I created these lilies tonight. A little bit different than what I just showed you. I'm so glad you like the tote, Mary Kay. Thank you. It's pretty easy to make, okay? And here it is. This is in the crushed curry. And here's a coordinating envelope here. And I think I showed you this one right here, which is Melon Mambo cardstock, okay? All right, so to get started, ladies, we're gonna start with the paper trimmer and a sheet of cardstock. It is Lovely Lipstick, okay? That's the name of it. It is an in color. And it's a standard sheet, 8.5 by 11 inches, okay? Lee, you cannot mail the 3x3 note cards, okay, separately. The Postal Service probably will not take those. And so that's why I created the tote to go with it. So you could hand deliver this to someone instead of mailing, okay? Now, someone's actually going to win this tonight. And when I mail it to you, everything will be flat and you will assemble everything, okay? All right, so be sure to share the video and to leave a comment, okay, to be in the contest. All righty, Margaret. Margaret says, I didn't want to like this stamp set because there are too many that I want. Darn it, Tammy, more decisions. I know, Margaret, and I'm going to be really honest with all of you. I really didn't think I was going to like the lilies, but I felt like, you know what? I need to share it, whether I like it or not. And so with the lovely lily pad stamp set with a $50 minimum purchase, you can select that for free. And then with the designer paper, you can also, if you spend $50, you can select that as your free gift. Now with the dies, okay, and here are the dies. This is with a $100 purchase, okay? So this is a little bit more, all right, because it is dies, okay? All right, well, let us get started so I can just talk you into this awesome set. Let's see. Our tote, we're going to create the tote right now, okay? It needs to be 11 inches long, so that measurement is already here, okay? And then you're going to cut it at 3 1/4. All right. And I just, you know what? I just let that slip a little bit. So hang on. Let me go back. I let it slip just a little. There we go. Much better. Okay, I was not holding my cardstock down. Okay, so this is 3 1/4 by 11 inches, okay? And now we're going to score this, and I'm going to need to pull out this arm, okay? And we're going to score at 4 3/4 inches. So right here we're scoring. I'm going to use my scoring blade. And then we're going to go over and score at 6 1/4, which is right. Let's see, that would be, oh, that's it right there, okay? And that's 6 1/4. It's hard for you to see, but right in this arm are lines, okay? And that's gonna be difficult for you to see, but that 6 1/4 is right there, all right? All right, and I just wanna make sure, I did it right here. All right, so we've got 4 3/4. Yep, and we got 6 1/4. That 6 1/4 is right there in the arm. All right, so now that piece is done. This is going to become our tote. And we're going to take this other sheet of paper and we're going to create the box now. That box that holds everything inside, okay? All right, so our box needs to be, let's see. Let's go. You know what? 5 1/4. Guess what? After cutting that sheet of paper, this needs to be 5 1/4, which is exactly what this piece is. How easy is that? And by 3 1/2. Okay. So our box measurement, 3 1/2. By 5 1/4, and we did not have to make that 5 1/4 inch cut because we had cut the first piece, the tote, so it worked out perfectly, which is awesome. Okay, now we're going to do some scoring, and we're going to score, and I'm just going to turn this back in. We're going to score at 1 inch, ladies, and that 1 inch is right there. All right, so let's scoot on over to 1 inch. Okay, I've got my first score line. I'm gonna scoot on over to this. Here's my next score line. 1 inch and 1 more inch. So it's 1 inch all the way around, and you cannot beat that, right? So very easy cutting. Okay. So this is the box that's going inside the tote, and we're going to cut on those score lines, and we're going to go up to that first score line. Okay? So that's what it's going to look like. And then we're going to do the same here. And so that's what it looks like. We're going to rotate our cardstock now. And we're going to cut on that score line again. All right. And then one more time. And we're going to cut right there. So that's kind of what your box should look like, okay? And then you're going to fold up the sides. And you're going to do that all the way around, okay? And then it's going to be really easy for us to put that box together, okay? So let me show you how I put it together. This one I'm going to put in the mail to the winner, to tonight's winner, okay? For you to put together. All right. So, this is the inside of my box, and if you put tear and tape on these sides, you will be able to create the box, okay? So now that the tear and tape is there, and that's where you want it, this is the inside, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to pull up this paper. Remember, this is the tear and tape. All right, some people have better luck with their fingernails and pulling this up. You can also use the take your pick tool. That'll work nicely. All right, and now these ends are going to go inside. I should have brought these ends up at the same time, but that's okay. All right, and so now we have our box. Now this one wants to stick out a little. It's not quite as straight as I would like it. Oops, so I'm just going to trim it a little. All right, no one's ever going to see that, okay? So I just trimmed that side a little. So now we have our box, and then you will want to put tear and tape across the bottom. And I just realized that I don't have my tear and tape here, but you could put tear and tape on this strip and this strip, okay? But that's okay because I'm going to show you another way to adhere it, all right? All right, we're ready to go back to the outside, and I am going to fold those score lines so that you can see what this looks like now. And this we're going to attach inside, but we can't do it yet because we are going to use the big shot, okay? All right, so this is where our designer paper comes in handy. And I'm going to use this piece, which is different than this piece. All right, but you're going to see that they both will look great. All right. So I'm going to use some snail to attach the designer paper. All right, and I'm just going to center this all the way around, okay? So now it is centered, and that's going to be the very front of the tote, all right? Now our next step is to take, and I'm digging it up here. Like I told you, I have tons of supplies over here tonight, so I have to kind of dig through everything. We're going to use one of the dies from Layering Ovals dies, okay? Now, I'm going to kind of give you the diameter for this, and it's about 2 inches long, okay? And it's one of the smaller oval dies in the layering die set, all right? And so I would like, tell you what, this is the first thing that I am going to do. I'm going to use a Post-it. And do you see, you can't see it, but you can see that this is the sticky part. And so what I want to do is I'm going to cut this oval out on this Post-it note, and I am going to use the Big Shot to do it, and I will go ahead and zoom out if I can. Okay, great. All right, so you get to see me use the Big Shot tonight, and the table's going to shake and do all kinds of things. I do have a cutting pad on here. It's brand new, so you cannot see it. All right, because it's so clear. All right. So this is done. All right. So this is what I want it to do. It's sticky on this side, okay? And so now, this is the front of the tote. I am going, actually that looks pretty good. I'm thinking the handle should be about here, but I'm gonna measure, and if I measure, that's about 5/8 from the designer paper, and that's about 5/8. Wow, I can't believe I did that. So again, this is about equal distance. I was just measuring to be sure. So now what I'm gonna do is, and by the way, see, here's my cutting pad. See, it's brand new. It's hardly been used, and that's why it looks like I'm not even using a cutting pad. This is where I want the hole, and so I'm going to take that oval die, and I am laying it right on top there, because that's my mark, okay? And then I'm gonna add the cutting pad, and then I'm gonna roll it through my Big Shot. My table's now shaking. All right. And now this comes up, and now I have my handle. All right, I need a handle in the back, okay? So I am going to take this Post-it note off, if I can get it off. I've got to take it off of this cardstock here, so hang tight. Just got to peel it off. All right. Oh, I see. It had to cut through the designer paper and the cardstock, so that's why it was so thick. Okay, now I'm going to use this again. All right. So this time I'm going to put these two edges together, just like that. They're even. And now I'm putting the Post-it note back in the hole. And I'm going to, whoops, it stuck to it. Let's do it again. So these two ends, we want even. So I'm just kind of looking at that just to be sure. And then the Post-it goes right there because that's where I want the handle on the other side. Everybody see that? And now I can go back and I can lay that die right there. All right, you can't cut both sides at the same time because it would bend the tote. And it would mess up the score lines that are already in the middle. So that cannot be done that way. All right, and so now I'm done with it, and I could probably use that Post-it note a couple of more times. Let's look at it. The ends are meeting, and now I have handles that are identical on both sides. Okay, I'm gonna move the Big Shot out of the way. All right, and now we're going to embellish our tote, and I can go on and zoom back in now. Let me know if you have any questions about that. How many of you have done this sort of thing? Have you ever done that with a Post-it note to make sure that you get the space even? All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is, and these colors you might want to write down if you're planning on making this. This is Flirty Flamingo. Remember, this has 16 different cardstock colors that coordinate with this paper. So the sky's the limit. Okay. I'm going to also bring in the large lily, and as you can tell, I've been using it quite a bit. And then we're going to bring in lovely lipstick. All right. And so tonight, I am going to use my pad if I can remember to use it. I'm going to ink up the flower in lovely lipstick. Oh, and you know what? I just did that on the solid side. So hang tight. Hang on. I'm going to clean this real quick because I actually want to use the outline on this, all right? And then next week, I really want to do another project with this, and I want to talk about watercoloring and stamping and using Stampin' Blends with these lilies and lily pads, okay? Because this has lots of really cool things we can do with this set. So I've inked it in lovely lipstick, and now I'm stamping it. All right, looks like I need to add a little lovely lipstick to my ink pad. All right, so that's our lily. And then if you take the die, and I'm gonna show you the die, all right, you just line the die up like this to cut it out, okay? And so then your lily's gonna look like this after cutting, okay? Now let's talk about the lily pad. I'm gonna bring in garden green cardstock for the lily pad. And I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm gonna use shaded spruce, okay? So here's the shaded spruce ink pad. And then I'm going to use the large lily pad. So they're two different size lily pads. I'm going to stamp this, and there's my lily pad. Isn't that cool? So here's the lily pad, and if you cut this one out, here's the die for cutting out right here. And then magic, it's all cut out for you, okay? Now another item that I'm cutting out is this die, with this die. So I took the lovely lipstick cardstock and I cut this die out, and this outline coordinates with this flower. How pretty is that? So let's put it all together on the tote, all right? And I hope you all are still out there. I have not heard from you in a while, so I'm hoping there's somebody left watching me. Okay, I need to see the real deal here. All right, so I'm just gonna use some snail here, and I'm gonna add the lily pad. And it's kind of coming off the tote a little bit. I thought that looked kind of cool. You could put the entire lily pad on there if you want, okay? All right. And then the other thing is we're going to pop up the lily, all right? Oh, good, somebody is there. Everybody likes it. Yes, Laura, this is a must. You must have this stamp set. I'm going to be really honest, and I know I've already said this tonight. I really didn't think I was going to like this stamp set, and I'm very surprised at how much I really do. So, and next week you're going to see the versatility with the flowers. They're all different ways to color them. They can be embossed. I just can't wait to share those things with you. It would just take another hour if I did that tonight. So I've popped up my lily, all right? And I actually wanted to use some Wink of Stella, and I don't think Stella is over here. Let's see. She's not, but if Wink Estella was here, I would color this in and let it dry, okay? So let's pretend I've done the Wink of Stella and it's dry. I'm now going to bring in this little outline. And this is my silicone craft sheet. I'm going to bring in some Tombow because sometimes it's really hard to put glue on these little pieces. I'm going to use a sponge dauber, but you could certainly use one of our stamping sponges. That also works. And I'm just going to kind of pat this a bit, okay, to get adhesive on it. Okay, so that's really all I'm doing. Now to wash this, I put this in a sink of some Soapy Dawn dishwashing detergent with a nail brush, and I scrub the adhesive off and it comes off just fine. So very easy for you to clean. And that I'm talking about cleaning the silicone craft sheet there. All right. And so now I've added the outline to the lily. All right. I'm so glad you like it, Laura. Glad you're here tonight. I'm glad all of you are here. All right, now the words. With the Lily stamp set, you may have noticed that there aren't any words, okay? But every single outline piece has a solid image. And remember, the stamp set is reversible, okay? So what I am stamping with is another Sale-A-Bration stamp set, and it's called Power of Hope. And we're going to use Today is a Day for New Beginnings. All right, I thought that would be really sweet to go with this little tote for a friend. And I'm stuck to something there. Okay. All righty, so we are going to add that. I took the very same oval that I used for the handle, and I cut out a Whisper White piece, okay? So, same size as your handle. You're now going to use it for your Whisper White. And for my ink color, I'm going to go with Shaded Spruce again. I could use just about anything because there are 16 different coordinating colors. How crazy is that? All right, and there's my Shaded Spruce. Now, usually, ladies, if I'm teaching a class, we usually stamp the words first, and then we cut them out. But I do want to save you all some time, and so that's why I tend to cut things out and then stamp. All right, but you know, if I was creating this project in a class, I would definitely do it the reverse. All right. So I'm going to add some dimensionals to pop up the words. I really wish I had my Wink Estella over here. I'll show you what it looks like on the sample, okay? All right. And I'm just going to add this about here on the flower, okay? And we're going to add a few rhinestones. Now, this is the holiday pack, and I can't remember. I want to say this carried over, but I could be wrong, okay? So I'm just going to pull this out, and we're going to add a few rhinestones here. And I'll add this one, and I'll put it about right there. And then I'll add another one here. And then I'll add a third one over here. Okay, now on the sample, you're going to notice that I use the basic jewels, the basic rhinestone jewels on this one. Do you see the shimmer in the original tote bag? All right, and then here is the one that we just created. And so those rhinestones are probably mint macaron, okay? So now the outside is all created, okay? And at this point, this is where we would put a strip of tear and tape, another strip of tear and tape, okay? and we would set it right inside of this tote and it would stick, okay? Now, I'm probably gonna put this in the mail tomorrow, so I don't want to include the box here because it will get smashed. So since another option, if you don't have the tear and tape, or if you'd rather not use tear and tape, use the Tombow glue. Just put it on the very bottom, then flip it over and hold it a few minutes and it will dry beautifully. So you've got two options there, okay? Just wanted you to be aware of that. Alrighty, but I won't do that since I'm going to put this in the mail just like this, okay? All right, so now we're ready for note cards. And let's see here. Let's see. And guess what, ladies? I have left my note cards over on my other paper cutter. So hang tight. I'm going to let you look at the project. Okay, while I was there, I looked for Wink of Stella and I didn't see it, okay? So I don't know where my head is tonight. I got everything cut and I left it on a different counter. Okay, here we go. Now we're gonna work on cards. Now these measurements are super simple. It's the same for all 4 cards, okay? So let me give you those. You've got your cardstock measuring at 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. And your designer paper, doesn't this look like it was painted by Monet? This is 2.5 inches by 2.5, and it's going to be the very same on all 4 cards. Now, I've already taken the time to create the note card and score it, but the measurements are 6 inches by 3 inches, and then scored at 3 inches, and that makes it square, okay? So we'll go ahead, and I'm using that Whisper White thick cardstock. I use that for all my card bases now, and I really like the weight of it. We're now going to take some snail, and I'm just putting it on all 4 sides, and I'm going to center it. Whoops. I'm going to center it on the cardstock, and you're going to have about 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Okay? All right, so it kind of looks like this. Okay? And then we're actually going to pop this part up because that's always fun to do. All right. And I'm just going to pull this off. Let me know if you all have any questions. All right. Let's see. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to center this. All right. And so that's what our note card looks like. And now we're ready to add some words to it. So hang tight here. Let me look at my samples and see what else I've used. Okay, so we're going to make a small lily pad and then the smaller lily, okay? And so we're going to use, these are more colors you might want to write down. This is Granny Apple Green cardstock. And then we're going to use Shaded Spruce ink. Okay, so I'm just inking this. And I've made the outline, and you're actually going to need 2 of these tonight for 2 of the cards. Okay? So that's done. And then you'll take the little lily pad die and you'll cut this out. All right? So you would cut out 2 of those. And we're actually going to tape this with snail, and let's see, I'm going to turn the lily pad this way this time. Originally it was this way, so you could actually do it either way. I'm kind of adjusting the light. All right, so now that's done, and then you want to take Melon Mambo. All right, that's a color we haven't talked about, but that's also another coordinating color. And then you want to use your lovely lipstick. And this time we're going to use the outline for the little lily. And I just checked, it's on the outline part. You're going to stamp. And this gets cut out with this die, okay? All right, so hopefully you can see that. And when that's all done, we've got our little lily right here, and we're gonna pop it up, and I'll put 2 here for that. All right, I'm just peeling that off. And then we'll pop up that lily right there. And I'm going to show you where these words came from, okay? It says hello. And this is from Timeless Tropical Stamp Set. And there's the word right there. I wanted something kind of tranquil to go with the paper. And so I thought that was tranquil looking, okay? So that's where that came from. And we are going to bring in some cardstock. And let me find my word hello. Oh, good. I did bring it over here. I'm inking this in lovely lipstick, okay? And let me stamp where you can see me stamp. There's the word hello. I'm going to take the classic label punch. It's in the annual book. And I'm going to stamp it so this is pretty close to the end. Let me kind of line that up a little bit better. And then watch what happens. You see how this is long on this side? I'm going to tuck this back into that punch, okay? And I'm going to make it shorter. All right, now how many of you have ever done that or tried it? I'm going to use some mini dimensionals for the words. And we're going to add them right up here. And I really think the words kind of add something to it. So I do like that. I'm going to clean my stamps while I'm thinking about it because we're going to use them again. All right. And now we're going to do the envelope that coordinates with it. So these were scraps. Let me give you measurements on this. You'll probably want your flap. The flap is about 3 1/8 of an inch. So you're probably going to want this at about 3 1/4 inches long. This is too long. I don't need it this long. And then the width is going to be 1 3/4. And then I always like to take the snail, if I can find it, and put the snail on the actual flap. Okay. And then I can add that paper, adhere that, and then all I do is trace around the flap. I just love doing this. I think it adds a special touch. I know right after Christmas I had so many, unfortunately, so many sympathy cards to send, and I did all of them with this flap. So I hope the recipients thought that they were thought of. Extra special. All right, so ladies, look at that. That's our first note card right there. All right, so we'll move on to the second one. All right, and it's this one right here, okay? And this is with the crushed curry ink and stamp. So we need to start with crushed curry cardstock. So you might want to write this color down. And then we're going to ink this up, okay, in crushed curry, all right? Thank you, Mary Kay. So it's crushed curry cardstock, crushed curry ink, all right? And it's Granny Apple Green Lily Pad once again, which you probably have already figured out. I've cut it for you. It's Granny Apple Green cardstock with shaded spruce ink, okay? So be sure you have those colors written down. And let's go ahead. Let's see. Oh, I see what I did. I actually reversed these, but that's okay. I'll show you what I did in just a second. All right. So now I've got my cardstock with lovely lipstick cardstock. So designer paper and lovely lipstick cardstock. Then we'll pop this up. All right, and peel this off. Thank you, Linda, for sharing. Thank you, thank you. Thanks, ladies. I'm glad you're still there and you haven't given up on me yet. All right, so we're gonna center this. All right, about right there. And then we'll tape our lily pad. As you can tell, these cards go very quickly. All right, these are very easy to do. All right, we'll put one dimensional here instead of two. You can do two. There we go. And now we're gonna add hello, and let's do that. Let's do it in crushed curry. All right. All right, so let me get the crushed curry ink out right here. And do I need to clean the hello stamp? I do. All right. All right, so I'll put this back up here so that you can see what I'm doing. And again, it doesn't matter if you're stamping crooked because you're using a punch, okay? So again, I'm gonna line up hello. I'm gonna kind of put it so that there's not a whole lot of white space on the left side. I'm going to insert this back into the punch till about there, and I'm gonna punch it. And then I've got the words, and now let's use the mini dimensionals. All right, they come in handy. Okay. And I'm gonna add this right along here, but I have to show you something funny that I did. All right, I have to see the original. Do I have the original? Maybe not, I'll show you when I find it. But that is card number 2. All right. Okay. Oh, we forgot to do the envelope. So you already know how easy this is. I'm just gonna stick this right on the flap. And I'm going to trim around it. So next time you ladies make a card and mail it, remember to take those scrap pieces of paper that you have left over and put them on a flap of an envelope. All right? And that way you'll have it. Okay, so I'll put that with that. Now we're gonna move on into some of the purples, okay? So these two, we're gonna tape. All right, this is card 3, by the way. All right, and this designer paper is free with a minimum $50 purchase. All right, you can get the paper free. You can get the stamp set free with a minimum $50 purchase. Okay, so a couple of ways you can get it. And if you like the dies, that is with a $100 purchase. You can select the dies as your free gift. All right, I'm going to center this one. I'm sitting down, so it's a little bit harder for me to center when I'm sitting down. Okay, so now I am going to bring in some purple posy cardstock. All right, and we're going to want the Highland Heather ink. Okay, and then we're going to stamp that lily in Highland Heather. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? Now this time, we're gonna do the lily pad a little differently. We are going to, let's see. Let me just check to be sure I'm right. Yeah, we're gonna bring in Bermuda Bay for the lily pad, all right? And I am going to take, what color am I gonna use? I'm gonna use Pretty Peacock. So this is a color you may wanna write down. Bermuda Bay cardstock, Pretty Peacock ink. So we haven't used these two colors together yet. You're gonna need 2 lily pads in this color, all right? Bermuda Bay cardstock and Pretty Peacock ink. And then you'll cut both of those little lilies out, all right? I don't know that, I bet you would have never guessed what ink I would have used with that Bermuda Bay. Okay, so now we're gonna bring in our purple posy lily with our lily pad. And we'll put snail right on the back of this. Hang tight. My snail's getting caught up. There we go. I'm gonna put this about right here. Let's pop up our lily. Right here. I'm gonna bring back the Whisper White. Hey Dawn, welcome. So good to have you tonight. And we're going to use, let's see, what color should we use? I really want to use Bermuda Bay, but I don't think I have Bermuda Bay ink with me right now. So we're going to use Pretty Peacock. All right. So that's Pretty Peacock ink once again, and Pretty Peacock is an in color. Okay. Bringing back that classic label punch. All right. And remember, I want to make it shorter. So I'm going to insert that end and make it shorter right there. We'll put dimensionals on the back of this. Thank you everyone for being so patient. At the end tonight, I thought I would show you some cards that I've received in the mail in the past week. All right, so hang tight and you're gonna get to see those. So here's another note card, and we'll do the envelope. This is going to be the envelope flap. So let's put adhesive here, right along here. Okay. And now we're going to trim this one. Okay. Any questions from anyone? This is a good time to ask them. Any lily questions? There we go. That's our third coordinating card. All right. We're getting ready to do our very last card. All right. So we're going to use the deeper purple this time, and this is called Gorgeous Grape cardstock. All right. So if you're writing down colors, this is Gorgeous Grape, measuring at 2 5/8. And we're just going to center it. You only get about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And then we're gonna pop this little beauty up, just like this. All right. Yeah, be sure to share the video. This is a great time to share it, okay? As we get ready to sign off shortly. And let's see who wins this thing tonight, all right? All right. And now we're ready for our lily pad. Remember, it's Bermuda Bay cardstock with pretty peacock ink. Oh, and this color is Highland Heather. And let me clean my stamp. We're going to ink the lily up in Gorgeous Grape. All right, so let's see how pretty this is going to turn out. That's Gorgeous Grape. All right, and then when we cut that out, it looks like that. And we'll put some A-dimensional on the back. All right, and one more time, we're going to, let's use Gorgeous Grape for the words. And again, I'm just using hello. Okay. And hello is from the Tropical Oasis stamp set. I'm going to line this little beauty up just like that. I'm going to insert this back in to make it a little bit shorter, okay? So hang tight here. All right, and then some small dimensionals. Alrighty, move that out of the way before I get ink all over myself. And then we'll add this one to the top. Isn't that pretty? What a beautiful combination of colors. One more flap, ladies, and this will be the last part. All right. And even if you get your designer paper upside down, I don't think anyone would notice. All right. This is the Lily Impressions designer paper, okay, in your Sale-A-Bration book. Looks like I needed a little, did I get it? Okay, so here is the little flap to go with that. All right, I'm so glad everybody likes it. Let's look at them one more time. Here's the last one. We just finished creating it. And here's one. Here's the next one right here. And then here's the first one that we did. And so they fit perfectly right inside that little box. And remember, we glue the bottom of the box in the bottom of the tote, but I'm not doing that tonight because I'm going to mail this flat, okay? I'm so glad you like them, Linda. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So there you go. Okay, I thought I would show you some cards that I've gotten in the past week, okay? First of all, at Hostess Club, one of my ladies made me this darling little box, and it says Happy Valentine's. And then you open up the box, and there's candy inside. Isn't this a sweet little gift? And I love her dearly, and whenever I do a boxing class, she always takes a few deep breaths, not quite ready to tackle the old box, but she did this on her own. I'm really proud of her for doing that. Isn't that sweet? All right. Hi, Rose. Welcome. Thanks, Mary Kay. All right. I received this card in the mail. All right. I can't even remember where this designer paper, I know it's Stampin' Up, but I can't remember from where. And then, do you all remember the top note die? It was one of the first dies that Stampin' Up offered. So one of my customers cut her note out in that, and she wrote her little note inside on it. And I thought that was pretty cute, okay? So, Dawn, I'm glad you liked tonight's project. It's pretty easy to create, okay? And all the replay, you can catch it right after tonight's video ends. And you can get the supply list and measurements on Friday on my blog. All right, here's another card. This was a Valentine's card to me. And this one, I recently promoted to gold in Stampin' Up. And so that can be really hard. The higher levels of achievement, it gets harder and harder to promote. And I've been working on that one for several years. And so one of my downline just sent me a card to congratulate me on earning my gold achievement. So anyway, thank you, Painted Seasons. Was that last year's Sale-A-Bration paper, or was it in the Occasions catalog last year? I think it was in the last year's mini. I'm pretty sure. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. All right, here's another Valentine's card. Happy Valentine's Day. Look at that darling little pig. Pig. He's so cute. I love it. Isn't that the precious? Hugs and kisses. It's just the sweetest. All right, and this one here, this is one of our older embossing folders. Thanks, ladies. And this is from Anne. She always sends me a card every holiday. Oh, now here's a real pretty one too. This is from my upline, Martha, and she sent this to me to congratulate me on my gold achievement. So I thought that was really sweet. Isn't that pretty? And this stamp set is in the mini. I don't know the name of it, but it's in the mini. And this is the Coastal Weave embossing folder. Okay, isn't that pretty? And it looks like she used mint macaron with balmy blue. And then one last Valentine's card. And this wonderful friend, she's in my downline, and she creates with all different kinds of media, all different kinds of different things. So she's always a busy bee. And so this was her card to me. And so thank you, Suzanne, for sending that along. All right. So just a reminder, ladies, that if you are placing an order in my online store, this is the URL address, and this is the February hostess code. Okay. And Sonia just reminded me, this paper, this was from the second part of Sale-A-Bration last year. Thank you, Sonia. I knew it was recent, but I couldn't quite remember. So thank you, Carol, very much. Just a reminder that if you're in my online store, when you place a $35 order, you do earn a bee. And when you've earned 10 bees, my friend, you get 35 in free product from me, and I redeem those at the end of each month. Now, if you're spending 50, okay, because of Sale-A-Bration, you'll earn a bee, and you can choose this as your free product. Or you can choose, I'm coming, hang on. You can choose the designer paper as your free product with a $50 order. Or if you place a $100 order, you can get the dies. But remember, you need $105 to earn 3 Bs. So that's just a reminder, okay? Thank you, Linda. Thank you, everyone, for the congratulations. That is so sweet. Gosh, I think we're all caught up on everything. Does anybody have any questions about Sale-A-Bration, about the products? Be sure to share. And be sure to leave a comment so that your name is in tonight's drawing for this tote with cards. On Friday on my blog, you'll see the replay. You'll also get a supply list with measurements. And you're going to get the designer paper swatch, okay? The designer paper swatch sheet. That's what I'm going to call it tonight anyway, okay? So that